We are live. We are back. Turn Left Podcast, episode 16. I almost forgot again for a second. Jesse's eating a cupcake backstage, and so she's not going to talk right now. Say hey, Jesse, right now.
What up?
So anyway, we are back. Like I said, some decent topics tonight to talk about. I don't know. We'll get into it right after this. After my dog stops scratching the garage floor, she's scratching. Yeah, the show is off the rails. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome back, Tina.
Howdy.
The best producer in the world. Back in the hot seat tonight, doing what she does best. Like I said,
It's
we
not
got.
a lot.
Well, I think you're good at a lot of things, and I think that Megan does a great job, and it is a lot harder when there's nobody here to get everything ready. So, thanks to Megan in the past couple weeks, but. Either way, and I mean, last week we've come a long way. I mean, the first night I did this, and almost tonight too, I was literally out here by myself, just literally out here by myself, talking to myself in the garage like a psycho. Last week we had 10 people in here. We had people outside. I mean, it was yeah, it was going down, dude. So either way, tonight it's just me, Jesse, and the dog, and hopefully everything will go well. But anyway. This episode is sponsored by Sara Speed Shots as usual. Yeah, I mean, last week I was starting to think like I'm gonna have to get a bigger studio or something, but we're back to normal now. Somewhat. Yeah. We're actually low count tonight, but I'm fine with that. And so last week's episode was fun. We got to talk to Jimmy about some baseball and stuff like that. He did some raps, questionable raps, probably a little bit too much under the influence, but he showed us his private parts after the podcast was over, but in a good way.
Okay, hang on. I feel like you're going to have to elaborate just a little bit so that people don't think that you had like a weird thing with Jimmy after the podcast.
No, there was a lot of people here. Everybody would know better than to think that. It wasn't just me. I didn't say he showed me. I said he showed us. I
mean, it's out there. You can it's not like a secret.
And it also apologize for the non-shaved neck and, no haircut. I haven't showered in 19 days now, so.
Yeah, you guys are lucky you can't smell them through the screen.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's gross in here.
No, it's not that bad. But I was supposed to shave and shower and all that. I just never did. Maybe tonight.
Maybe.
All right, so the first thing, I guess, that we're going to talk about is the Chris D'Elia thing. I told you a little bit about it. Mm-hmm. Chris D'Elia is a famous comedian, actor. He's in a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, he was in the second or third season of You. He was the pedophile guy, coincidentally.
Oh my God, was he really?
Yes.
Wow.
He played the pedophile, and even like as they're like beating him at the end, he's like, I'm not into little girls or something like that. And he hasn't. Obviously, nothing's been proven yet, but.
Yeah,
there's screenshots
proven guilty, but
with his email and everything like that, and they're not, The long story short is he, at least 5 years ago, was not. He was what's the word? Not trolling, but
creeping.
Creeping. I mean, he was texting. He was oh man, I'm such an idiot. Grooming.
Yeah.
And trying to hang out, and God knows how many times he's done it. But anyway, so she was 16, and the screenshots are posted and everything where she even says she's 16, blah, blah, blah. There's another one. There's 3 girls that have come out so far. One of them is 17. She says that she's 17, and he goes, oh, okay, that's young. And then the conversation kind of ends. Then he messages her like 6 or 9 months later, to where possibly she could be 18. Nobody knows her birthday yet, but still, it's like He at the
He's a
time,
grown man.
at the time he was 32, 35, 36. The one where it was a 16-year-old girl was when he was 35 or 36 years old.
Ew.
So I mean, twice her age is 32. I mean, that's insane.
Right, and like, you know, no judgment on like an age gap, but like, it's really only acceptable once you're like well beyond the barely legal limit. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if like a 30-year-old marries a 60-year-old, but like.
Yeah, that's totally different.
But like.
Still weird.
But for a 30-year-old to be going after a 16, maybe 18-year-old.
35.
Like, that's
35, 36-year-old.
Okay, so he's almost 40 then, really.
Yeah, well, now he is 40.
Right.
This happened all 5 years ago. Now he's got I'm
gross.
pretty sure a really young girlfriend that just had a baby.
I
don't know who decided for all this to come up. Apparently the girl literally said, imagine being kind of embarrassed for having had talked to an older man when you were younger. And really, you think back, and he was the one that started the conversations and DM'd me first and all this kind of stuff, and then says something about, think about how strange it is. The only way that I got physically molested is because I ended up getting a boyfriend my own age, so everything ended up stopping. But because he's got a bunch of these accounts.
She didn't get physically molested?
Technically, I mean, she would have been, I guess at this time, consenting maybe if they would have, you know what I mean?
No, it's not consensual unless she's 18.
Yeah, well, that's perfect. Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, it's a big deal, and I don't know what to think. I mean, I think that a lot of people aren't talking about it yet because he's really famous in the comedian world and the comedian podcast world. Like, there's Joe Rogan, who's the head, and then there's Chris D'Elia, Theo Vaughn, Whitney Cummings, Donnell Rawlings. I mean, there's all these, you know, Tom Segura, Burt Kreischer, Bill Burr. All these guys are all comedians that are tied in that, you know, Godfather circle or whatever they call it, that are all, you know, comedian podcasters that all are successful in both. And so a lot of them haven't reacted yet. His best friend, Brian Callen, said, pretty much breaking down, I just hope it's not true. But I think judging by some of the stuff coming out, it's like kind of hard to negate.
Right.
Already. He's already made a statement, a public statement.
What was his
And
statement?
it was already kind of guilty. You can look it up if you want. It had some guilt to it. He said, I've never, you know, sent any, you know, nudes back and forth with any of these girls that are tweeting about me, blah, 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 but I know that my past has been...
Whitney Cummings reacted too.
Oh, God, what did she say?
Let's see.
We can come back.
Oh, and
to
they were on this, they
were on
a show together.
called Whitney.
Her show called Whitney, right. He
Yes.
played her boyfriend.
That's what I'm saying. He's very popular.
Yeah. She said, this is a pattern of predatory behavior. This is abuse of power is enabled by silence. Now that I'm aware, I won't be silent. Girls should be able to have fun. Girls should be able to be a fan of a comedian they admire without becoming a sexual target. It's the adult's responsibility to be an adult. And she's not wrong. You can't...
I mean, she just started a podcast. What is she on, episode 20 now or something? She started it about the same time we did, and he was just on her podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they're obviously good friends. They've worked together for years.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you remain friendly with somebody after finding out something like that?
Well, also, apparently, when he does get nudes from these younger girls, if they cross him or something like that, he will make them into memes and share them throughout the comedic guy circle or whatever. The guys that are still in the circle. Not all the guys.
He's been sharing child porn.
I guess potentially. Some
If
girl
they're
that was
underage, that's child
some
porn.
Canadian comedian was warned by somebody, don't, you know, get involved with him, don't send your nudes to him, because if you cross him, he will make a meme out of him and share it throughout, not the community, because I'm sure some of the guys, like the honest guys, but you look at some of the podcasts, like people have compiled videos of everybody's podcast where like Theo Vaughn, Andrew Santino are talking about something, and he'll make a joke like, oh yeah, and you know, I'm sure he's got a 17-year-old girl at his house right now, and like they make a joke, and like Andrew Santino is like, yeah, but he doesn't have sex with 18-year-old, underage girls, and he's like, no, dude, like totally joking. He's like, She just turned 18 that day. Just like once you realize what's going on right now, it's like.
So it sounds like they were aware enough.
Well, yeah, maybe so. It's hard to say. I'm not trying to place any blame there either. It's just clearly it's been a pattern enough to where people have noticed, like either he, is out with young girls or whatever, whether they, because maybe they just figured these girls were 19 and 20, and it was just like, that's kind of weird, but it's legal, and then they make it even farther on sarcasm. I don't know.
Ew.
You have to watch some of the compilations. I'll send them to you. They're not that long. All of them are like 4 or 5 minutes long. Just check them out. But it could be all these girls are just, making stuff up. I don't know. It doesn't look good.
I find it hard to believe.
Yeah, the screenshots and stuff are pretty weird. And some of the weirdest stuff, I think there was one that was like he says weird stuff like, hey, do you want to come over and make out? And stuff like that. Like he says stuff like that, like high schooler type stuff to all of them. They're all like very weird. Like, oh, we can make out with our shirts off and stuff like that.
That's grooming.
Yeah.
That's textbook grooming.
Well, it's textbook grooming, but it's just like the cringeworthiness of it, knowing that he's talking to literally high schoolers. One of them said that she was in high school and like she was 18 but still in high school, so it was legal, I guess, technically, or something. But he like kept on getting her to talk about it or something. Yeah, I haven't read that part technically. I just heard about it.
Ew, it's like making my skin crawl.
I know, it's sick,
talk about something else.
Sorry.
Cameron Ruggles says, what's up?
What's up, Cameron Ruggles? Congratulations, buddy. He won the race at Dominion tonight. Dominion, that was part of the title. Dominion did not get rained out tonight. I thought it would. It was literally a 90% chance of rain for like the whole afternoon and night. And then here, I was checking Thornburg and Chesterfield just because I don't want it to rain here anyway. But Thornburg, 90% as well. Then it went down to 20% for both. I mean, it was sunny here. And I was like, okay, cool, because, everybody said, like, qualifying's over, everything's going well. Hopefully everything will keep on going. There's some spots, coming through the weather. But anyway, both were down at 20% for the rest of the night. And then all of a sudden the sky opened up here, and it's like thunderstorms and everything. I know it's an hour away, but still I was like, Jesus, it just told us it was 20% here too. And now the sky's wide open. So I was nervous, but it held off. Congrats to Barry Beebe, I think his name is, for the Grand Stock win. Dominion Stock. I think Zach Lightfoot won the Dominion Racers, whatever they're called. But yeah, Cameron won the UCAR race. Outran Alex. He finished second.
He said thank you. Alex drove his ass off.
Yeah, he was having some trouble getting by the 11, Don Schumann, I think his name is. It's the dad. I guess you wouldn't know, sorry.
Yeah, no. You're asking the wrong person here.
But anyway, yeah. So,
Cameron said it started raining right when they left.
Did it? Wow. They got lucky.
Yeah.
Well, did the late model race get done, Cameron?
We can look that up.
Did you get a hat? I want one of those hats.
I
said something the other night in a comment, like, I want the Hoosier collars. Since they do American Racers, I want an American Racer collar, but Cameron said they do hats. And I was like, well, that's fine, actually. I can do that.
Yeah.
I actually don't have any Hoosier hats. Hat would be nice.
But
American Racer hat would be cool, too, because I don't have anything American Racer. With some stickers, too, would be nice. But anyway. What did he say about the late model race? Did they get it in?
Daniel Silvestri won the last race.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a younger late model driver.
He's from Southside, too, isn't he? I know that name.
Yeah, he ran Legends there.
Yeah.
And Bandos. Or both? I think at least Legends I know for a fact. But anyway, so as everybody knows, Southside Speedway is canceled for the year. So it looks like we'll be going to Dominion. Alex did it today. I thought he was a wild person because I thought for sure it was going to rain, but it didn't. It held off. He actually got the pole, but just, fell back to third. The outside is tough. And Cameron ran a good, clean race and came away with the win. I'm trying to scroll through. Okay. But anyways, I think it'll be kind of exciting. That's what, seems like that's what a lot of... It's fine, yeah. It just seems like that's what we always want the Dominion guys to come down to Southside. The Southside you know, the Dominion guys always want the Southside guys to come out to Dominion, but we do plenty. I mean, Frazier is probably still in the points lead right now. I mean, he's a Southside guy. Cameron, in my opinion, is still a Southside guy. He won tonight. So, I still want Southside to be able to open and see some of the Dominion guys come down to Southside, but I'm sure at some point I will see you there. Not soon. I got on call. I got kids and stuff. So, it'll be a while, but I might see you there.
Yeah, this is a tough season to manage all that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of guys go down to Dominion even before all this happened. Jamie Height, Mike Frazier, like I said. Cameron's been going down there. Ronnie, Chapman. Chapman's got a win down there. I said Jamie Height. Zach Lindsay. Tommy Gildia, shout out to him. He came to Southside. He wasn't scared to come to Southside from Langley. So he made an appearance. That was nice. Jesse Danger Jones, he used to always come back when he had, you know, cars that were eligible. Now he's got a Celica, so he's kind of...
Cameron says Don is the points leader now.
Really? Wow. Well, I guess that explains some of his defensive driving. Not hating, you know. It wasn't... It's just... I didn't know the situation of the first race. I didn't know the points battle, so it makes more sense on top of it. But,
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We'll have to go up to Dominion this year.
did anybody else, because I haven't checked into the Crystalia thing, not to go back. Actually, we won't. No, don't. I'm intrigued enough that Whitney Cummings said that. That was one of the biggest ones I was going to ask about. Or that I was going to be searching in the near future, but I figured it'd be longer before any of them came out about anything, but sorry to jump around. But yeah, I'll eventually be there, I'm sure, at Dominion. Do they let, I mean, now that there's no fans allowed, they let whole families and stuff into the pits, right? I think.
I don't know.
I think they do.
I would hope so.
So yeah, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. My motor's old, but it'll be fine. I think it'll do well enough. Car handles well enough. I've never been worried. The motor's been old for a couple races now, so I ain't scared. It handles well enough, and the cars, you know, anytime you've got, you know, a car that handles that well, the driver always ends up getting the credit, and the car builder and stuff. Bud Allen, shout out to Bud Allen. And even Alex Ayers has done some stuff to it, you know, throughout the years, but nobody ever credits the car builders enough. But
Oh, Cameron says 8-person limit per car. That's totally reasonable.
that's fine. Is there age limits?
Probably not.
Because I've got a 16-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son. They're just really small. So let me know.
No. Who did I just see up there? Oh no, I'm thinking of Craig and Amanda were in Myrtle Beach, and they took Spencer. But Bob Hawkins said you wouldn't have an issue getting into the track.
I wouldn't. All right. Well.
Looks like we're going to Dominion.
Well, we're not yet. I don't have tires. I don't have anything. I'll be there. Don't rush me. They do a lot of races. Anyway, they've got like a 20, 30 race schedule or something. Not for every division. They do a little bit of some divisions, some nights type stuff. Yeah, like I think it should be that way. Nothing's worse than never being able to go out to the track and watch. That's what I hate about Southside. That like back when they did staggered every other week, there's 6 classes. They would do 3 races a night or something, or that was maybe even back when there was 7 or 8 classes.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was street stocks, and there was the winged go-kart things.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I think there was 7 or 8 classes, and they used to do, you know, 3 or 4 every evening or every Friday. And it was just cool because on the nights that street stock wasn't racing, I could go up there and just watch and not have to worry about getting off in time later, you know, and just be able to enjoy watching without having to, like I said, do everything else.
Yeah.
But so I'm fine with that. Maybe if they allow fans in too, we can go up there one night, and because I think they
Yeah,
They have to where you can rent out a spot and you can like sit on the back of your truck and watch right there.
Yeah, it didn't.
That'd be kind of scary, but
No, I think that would be fun.
not for us. Not scary for us, but the cheering.
Amelia would be thrilled with that.
Yeah, some of them are loud. Right there on the track. You know?
She's got her headphones. She's good.
That's true. What were we gonna say now?
I don't remember.
Damn.
Dude, it's past my bedtime.
I know it was gonna be gold though. Try to think of it.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Good night, guys.
Hi guys. Good night. Does anybody say anything? Can you read it?
Fuller said limited lates tonight.
Fuller, you
Was a
called
good
me tonight
race.
and stuff. What happened? Limited lates. What is that? Is that the Dominion Virginia Racers? 'Cause that was Zach Lightfoot, right?
Oh, and Cameron says there's 9 more U-Car races.
9 more?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm surprised there's not more.
Oh, and Bob says Langley and South Boston are opening next weekend with fans. With fans? How are they doing that?
Tennessee is doing the All-Star race next weekend with 30,000 fans.
Yeah, but Tennessee has different laws than Virginia does right now.
True. Good question. I don't know how Langley's doing it.
Interesting.
Let us know, Bob. I'm on airplane mode, I
Fuller
think,
says,
so I
yeah,
can't look that
Virginia
kind of stuff up right
racers.
now, and it would be kind of rude. What?
Fuller says, yeah, Virginia racers.
And who won that race, and why was it a good race? A lot of lead changes. You got to think. I shared it early on to make sure everybody's watching later, but I was not watching the entire evening. I was doing bath time and all kinds of stuff. So I tuned in for sure during the U-Car race. Jesse let me go outside and watch that, but for the other races,
I let you go outside and watch that. You made me sound like a slave driver.
Well, you know what I'm saying, like devoted. I got to like not like have to watch it on the couch or something. You know, like literally got to go outside and watch it on the iPad. On the iPad.
Fuller says first race for the Triple Crown late model. And Bob says phase 3 is supposed to start
next week.
I guess so.
All right, so breaking news: Southside Speedway is reopening this year. Just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. Don't video grab. What's even the? It wouldn't be a screenshot. How would you do that?
I don't know.
I'm an idiot, dude. Everything, half the stuff I say, I go, is that how you say it? What? I don't even know what's going on. Anyway, so either way, the back and forth is over at least about Dominion and Southside. Now we know where to meet up, so that'll be interesting. I think they should close Dominion next year and make everybody go to Southside. I'm just kidding.
Good for Southside.
Did you hear about the video of all the celebrities? The I Understand or the?
No, but I'm sure it was a total crapshoot.
It was pretty much like the what was the one?
The quarantine video they did where they were like all singing.
Yeah. Imagine there's no heaven is how it starts. If they did that during a quarantine.
Yeah, I remember that one.
With Gal Gadot or whatever her name is.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah. With a V on the end.
With a T.
Is it?
Yes.
It's Gal Gadot?
Yeah, she's French, so you don't pronounce the T.
Fancy. God. Well, anyway, it's pretty much just as cringeworthy. Check out if you want to. Did I? I'm losing it.
Oh
Kyle Dunningham. He did a remake of it where he does like all the face swaps.
Well, but what is it about?
It's pretty much just like all these people sitting in their apartments, just saying like, we're gonna start changing. Like. You just go watch it. I'll post a few videos on this page right after this is over on some celebrities' reactions to it and stuff like that, and it's pretty hilarious because everybody pretty much agrees with them. It was the same thing like you said. It was just like horrible judgment.
Like just stop posting on social media about it and just do it.
Or just
shut up.
Yeah, like somebody else said, like. They literally just want to be heard. They just want to be like.
They want to be included and relevant.
Yes, exactly. Like they're not using it for their own gain, maybe a little bit, but not as much as like some of the stuff I've talked about in the past. But like just the fact they're like, oh yeah, I'll get in there.
They want to be
I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like everybody's been tweeting and everything like that, but like nobody's been performing or doing any shows. So like, oh, I think the people need to see my face.
They need to know
hear,
that I don't want to be racist.
Yeah, it's like you've never been racist, dude. Like, I understand you want to stand up for it. That's fine, but like, don't make a cringy video apologizing for something you didn't do, saying that you'll change how the way it was.
Well, I think that stuff like that is more them wanting to change. Like,
they all meant well.
Sure, but just shut up and just do it instead of posting on
Not even that. Just like when you see this, it's just like nobody was like, "Oh, thank God." You know, when they did that, there wasn't any like
wow,
you know, stricken community that was like, "Oh, you know." It's
thank
just
God.
So
these
like
celebrities don't want to be racist anymore.
They're so disintouched. You know, like there's a reason why, and this is rich people in general. They all want to hop on Twitter and say, "Oh, I stand for this and I do that." Your kids go to private schools. You live in a gated community.
Right, like
you're not in touch with civilization. You have,
especially not the.
You have segregated yourself with other rich people, which is fine. I respect that, but don't try to say like, "Oh, I'm all about the downtrodden, like struggle." Of why don't you move down there?
Like, no, you are not.
It's just so they're so disconnected. You know what I mean? They're like living in a, you know, like I said, gated community. They got private golf courses.
Yeah,
their kids go to private schools. You know, they got a driver taking them back and forth. It's just like, dude, you go out of your way to not, you know,
to not understand that world.
Yeah.
Like, you put a lot of effort into removing yourself from that aspect of society.
Just some of the backdrops, you know, it was like when I looked at Poor Man's Podcast and these two dudes over in fucking Salisbury.
Said, preach.
These two dudes over in Salisbury, you know, in a nice tiled up kitchen doing Poor Man's Podcast. I don't know where they were, but it wasn't a Poor Man's Podcast. And after looking at some of the other ones that were Poor Man's Podcast, that name should be reserved for them and not me like I thought it was going to be, because this is low grade. But some of the ones I saw where they're just like, I don't know, I started off this whole thing with that, but these kids just sitting around like drinking out of solo cups. And it was just, I need to go back and watch it, because it's one of those things, it's almost like a really, really bad movie that you watch it just to watch. It's like a train wreck, you know what I mean?
Like Tiger King.
It's like the first couple episodes of this podcast, but worse.
That too.
Because these dudes, I mean, Jesus, there's nothing there. It's like literally they're just sitting around a folding table with folding chairs in like literally the middle of like not a library, but like just an empty dorm room, you know, and not funny guys. Like if I would have gone to college and all my friends were doing that in the dorm room, it probably would have been hilarious. This was not. I feel like the guys are. I don't know. I don't want to shit on too much. I need it.
You're really going in on these kids.
Yeah. They might not have even been kids, too. That was probably the worst part, is they looked like they were kids, but you could tell that they were maybe like 25 or something. I lost all my stuff. We don't have a turn right segment.
We don't have a turn right segment.
Sorry.
I'm sleep deprived and postpartum. Sorry about it.
Unacceptable.
Fire me then.
Megan's gonna send one in.
Megan's asleep in her bathtub right now.
Did you say she's asleep in her bathtub?
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope her head's above the water if she is.
I don't know.
Don't talk about Megan the intern right now. The super intern now. She got upgraded to Megan the producer. We talked about this on that.
She's like assistant producer. Not like on The Office where it's assistant to the producer. She's just assistant producer.
Yeah, that's fine.
And amazing. Shout out to Megan. We miss you.
We need an intern.
Bristol.
Judging by that scratching performance she was doing earlier on the floor that was super loud up into the furniture that holds all the speakers and stuff.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you were looking down and I kicked the camera at the very beginning, so.
Oh my gosh. No, it doesn't matter. It seems like it happens every time. And I need to have a better tripod if I want to.
Yeah.
What do you think about, I've said this before, this is going to sound like
Yeah,
deja vu.
opinion.
Yeah. Moving the table and then we'll sit on this side and this side. Y'all will be looking down the long way of the table.
Like Casey.
Is that how Casey Adams does it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how Joe Rogan does it. That's how most of them do it. It gets tricky though. Actually, it gets better for when there's 3 people or even 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a lot. I don't have no mics for here. Well, we'd have no mic for backstage, but anyway. Hopefully, I'm having Bud and Jennifer soon. Hopefully, and we're gonna do the. I don't know. Now that racing season's coming back, I don't know when they're gonna be able to come on, but I'll try to get with them on the schedule. Yeah, I'll try to get back on the schedule.
I'm not the assistant. Ryan Melton is assistant producer.
Ryan Melton is the intern.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
yeah. He's the off-air intern, or what is the out of studio intern?
Yeah, he's the out of studio intern.
The quarantine intern. He's
virtual.
Yeah. I was gonna talk about something else. This always happens. I think it's not in here either.
I don't know. But I don't know logistically how you would fit all that in here. To do that angle video.
Oh, you don't worry about that part.
Alright.
Okay. My only issue is when people do that, they do that, and this show might start like that, and you see that, but then it switches over to 2 cameras that look at the people directly in the face, and they switch the cameras back and forth.
Yeah.
As opposed to you just be looking at the side of our faces, like this, and then I might be like sitting like this, talking to the person like this, so it might be like.
I feel like we just don't have the technology for that quite yet.
I don't know. I didn't ask you that. I asked you
how you thought it would look. No, you asked what if we did this.
We're fist fighting as soon as this podcast is over.
Yeah, y'all gonna catch Ethan with a black eye tomorrow.
I might finally win my first one.
No.
I'm gonna look like that fat guy that lost the fight in the RVA street fight. Jessie does know spinning back kicks. She's Colombian. They're born with that.
Yeah.
I
had that crazy down really deep, but I can bring it out when I need to.
Yeah. She practices it while I'm at work and stuff like that. It's pretty sick. I actually saw it on the baby camera one day, like a recording of it. I'm like,
shut up.
What's she training for, dude? She had Rocky music on. Scary. I don't want to end it too early. Did anybody else say anything? I don't know.
No.
Nobody's saying anything?
No,
the worst fans
to
ever.
Talk to you.
I know. Y'all do need to go and go to YouTube.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah. I don't want to be annoying, but
comment, like, and subscribe.
She's good at it, so I'll let her do it. Be annoying. You need to do it, okay? I suck at YouTube, and I have 4 people on there. Actually, I changed the setting where now you can get any comments, and I just keep on getting. No, not people. Whatever this is, getting comments that are like, weird stuff.
No, I don't know. Enlighten me.
I don't know either. It's been a week since once I saw that they're starting to fill up with that kind of stuff.
What? Hang on.
Nothing bad. It's just like links and stuff like that. Like just.
Oh, spam.
Kind of, yeah. Some of them are. One guy's been, in the comments even before I changed that setting, and he's like, a guy that doesn't have a profile picture, but he's got like 200,000 subscribers, but no videos. He just does like reloads or something, or like reposts, and like shares. I don't know how this shit works, dude. I'm so old.
You really are pretty old.
So old. And what's the age? What is older than boomer? What's the grade above that? I'm that. Gramps? Is it Gramps, boomer, millennial?
No, isn't it like the greatest generation or whatever?
That's boomers, they think.
No. I'm about to Google it.
Well, I'm old, dude. And I don't know. Dude. I might not even be 30 yet, but I'm old, bro. When I stand up, it sounds like you're smacking a bag of marbles on the ground, like just on my knees, like just They sound like Josh Revis's knees. I was talking about last time when he stands up from being a catcher in baseball.
Oh,
Rushed.
Yeah, Josh is gnarly. His knees are horrible.
Sounds like when you have the option on your freezer to make it into crushed ice and you turn that bad boy on. It's like that's how my knees sound when I stand up.
Ew.
Yeah.
So the silent generation is before the boomers. The boomers are from 46 to 64. The silent generation is 25 to 45. And then the greatest generation is 1910 to 1924. Did you just
That was to the
flip me
greatest.
off?
That was to the greatest generation.
Well, yeah. They survived the World Wars and the Great Depression. You gotta give it to them.
Yeah, they're way cooler than I'll ever be.
Yeah.
Shout out to the greatest generation. Yes. We're millennials. We don't get any slack. Dude, when you're a millennial and you talk about generations, all you just gotta get mad. All we do is just make up stuff about boomers so that we can try to make them, a fool, which they are acting a fool sometimes. But, yeah, when you're labeled as a millennial, dude, there's,
People hate you for it.
it's getting better.
Yeah, it's
getting
because
better.
you've got Generation
But it's
Z,
not. No.
Tide Pods.
Well, don't put that on us.
No, I said it's getting better for us because we've got
Is
Generation
Cameron still
Z.
watching? Cameron, what generation are you? And have you ever eaten a Tide Pod?
How old is Cameron's not that much younger than you are, right?
No, he would, and he's way smarter. He would never listen.
Well, millennials end at 94, so he probably is a Gen Z.
Yeah,
So
technically
he's
fine.
probably,
I think he's
because of that, he
5
must
years.
have eaten a
No,
Tide
he's
Pod.
6, 7 years older than him. What? No, he didn't eat Tide Pod. I was just making a joke. Congrats again, Cameron. Nice win. Give us something to talk about.
Don't you have a list of things to talk about?
One of them is too political, and I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to get canceled.
Cameron Walker says hell no.
About what?
He probably thought you were talking to him about eating a Tide Pod.
Oh. No, dude, I'm talking to Cameron Ruggles, bro. Thanks, Cameron Walker, though. I knew that you didn't either, but I was making a joke because Cameron Ruggles is the younger guy, and he might be Gen Z? What is Gen X? That's one of them, too, right?
Well,
Got the burps.
so it's baby boomers, Generation X, which is 65 to 75, Zennials from 75 to 85, and then millennials are from 80 to 94. Yeah.
Do you believe in, what is the signs? It's like Scorpio. What's yours?
Oh, astrology? I'm a
Yeah.
Virgo. No, I don't believe in it.
Does anybody actually?
Yeah,
Really?
lot of people. A lot. Well, okay.
So am I an atheist? Because I don't want to take this role if I don't know that much about it.
Are you an?
I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, some people are like, don't take away my, it's like.
I believe
shit's-
in certain aspects of that, but I don't believe in like you have certain personality traits if you were born in August or September or like I don't think that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But like stuff like Mercury in retrograde and like I feel like that kind of stuff, like how the planets are aligning, can have an effect on us.
Sure.
Because just hear me out, because I always feel like I sound crazy when I actually like verbalize that I do believe in like Mercury in retrograde. Like I just feel like that coming out of my mouth in and of
I
itself.
mean, I know what Mercury, the element, is.
It's the planet.
I know, but you see, I don't think of that as first.
That's fair. But when we're on the topic of astrology. But so like
Fair enough.
humans are on average like 70-80% water,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's a lot, yeah.
Right. And if the moon controls our tides, which is all the water on the earth, doesn't it make sense then that it could also have an effect on us and the other planets could have an effect on that as well? You know what I mean? Like, is that super far-fetched?
I don't know, let's call into Neil deGrasse Tyson is making a live episode appearance right now. No, that'd be nice. But, I don't know if anybody else knows who that is other than us, because we're nerds, but.
I feel like if you don't know who that is, you should be ashamed of yourself and you should do some Googling.
You haven't even watched this Joe Rogan podcast.
Just because I haven't watched a podcast.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Thank you, Ryan.
What did he say?
It is an interesting point.
It is. I'll give you that. I wasn't trying to discredit it. I just
No,
wish that we
I
had
always,
somebody like
when
Neil
I'm
deGrasse Tyson to
verbalizing
go, listen here,
Well,
and break it down for us real quick.
Let's see.
I love that guy, dude. That's
He's
one of my
so
peak goals,
smart.
to have that guy on my podcast.
That's a big goal.
He got a little feisty with Joe last time, but I didn't
Yeah, I
mind
heard
it.
about that.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I don't care. He can come over here and beat me up if he comes on my podcast. I don't give a shit. I'll fist fight him for an episode.
Oh my god.
I'll keep an arm tied behind my back. He's probably getting a little older. He's probably 50 or 60 or something. But yeah, so the astrology, because your body's mostly water, somebody's got to know something about this.
Well, and
I'm not saying that this has been debunked. I'm just saying that this
no,
is
it's very like half science.
the fact that you know about it well enough to bring it up like that. There has to be somebody not listening. I mean, there's only 9 people listening, but if there has to be an explanation, or at least a not verification, but yeah, you're kind of right, to that. Where did you hear it from?
Where did I hear what from?
Where did you learn this information?
Well, I learned about the moon affecting tides in like 3rd grade science.
Obviously, but where did you learn about?
And so that just makes no, but like just like the fact that we are like 75% water. Like that's just like I don't know that there was ever like a.
How did you put that correlation together? What article are you reading that?
I don't know
you
that
put that
I ever
together on your
read
own? It's even more impressive, I guess.
I don't know. Like I don't feel like there was ever like a light bulb moment where I was like, ding ding ding. Like I just like it's just something that.
But you're still discrediting the.
I don't feel that being born under a certain alignment of stars has an effect on your personality traits. I think that your personality is something that you have most control over.
Mm-hmm.
Personality is who you are. That's something that you can change. You're not like an asshole because you were born a Scorpio.
Well, here's my thing. Even when you're unborn, you're still mostly made up of water. And what if your due date is blah, 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 and you go over a month? Now you're a whole different person? I mean, I feel like whatever astrology would be affecting you would be affecting you while you're in the womb as well.
And statistically
Does that
speaking...
make sense, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Statistically speaking, a lot of women go into labor...
Where are you getting these stats? That's what I'm asking. I'm just kidding. No. You don't have to pull... I'm totally joking. You have to pull them up.
This to the nurse...
It's not like you were like gearing in for this conversation. We didn't even know that. No. That's saying no. I don't want you to. I know that you're right. I'm just saying that I don't expect you to have all that information readily available because we didn't even know we were going to talk about this.
And some of
But
stuff
I'm just
has
asking,
come from like my personal experience.
Do you read it online and stuff?
Well, a lot of it came from my personal experience. Like I didn't. Okay, so let's backtrack a second. So maybe I did have a little bit of an aha moment, but indirectly, about the moon because when I worked in assisted living.
Ooh, yeah,
you could freaking track the moon phases by their attitudes.
They're.
Oh my god, it got that shit crazy on full
Hospital workers say the same thing.
Yes, and statistically speaking, a lot of women go into labor either when there's a huge barometric shift or if there's a full moon.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Like.
No, it definitely. There's a lot of correlation there, and there's a lot of. Statistics there, and did I say it wrong again?
That's close enough.
That prove that's. I don't know if any of my English teachers watch this show. Hopefully not. Definitely not. But if they were to, they would be disappointed to say the least. But back to the astrology thing. I think that you're probably right. It's just, I wish that I knew more about it. I'm going to have to research it now.
Well,
I need to not forget to post about the video. I'm sure Ryan Melton commented because he's seen the video. As far as about the celebrities doing the thing, I need to post the rebuttal video or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I think it's Kyle Dunnigan or something.
Mm-hmm.
He did face swaps. He kept some of the, ones in there, and then did face swaps for some celebrities and added it in there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like
embarrassing,
but he made it so funny because he like just threw the extra fire on it, or like the extra fire on the flame to like make it cringeworthy times 1,000. But like and he's kind of an impersonator. So when he does these face swaps, it's really good. And I don't know, it makes me want to post it on there as soon as it's over. But you weren't finished, I don't think, talking about how that's how you got the aha moment on the part about.
Oh, well, I mean, just that, like having the personal experiences and seeing how the full moon affects human beings.
Just led you to believe the fact that human beings probably, it might be, a totally different thing when there's.
Well, you can see it in geriatrics. So it would make sense that even if we're not all affected to that extent, to where you're like trying
What do they do? They beat each other up?
Oh, yeah.
Raping? Anything like that going on? What's going on?
I mean, there was no rapes.
Jesse's face got uncomfortable. See, that's why I asked him on this side, because I say some stuff, but Jesse's like, why did you just say that?
Oh, God. There was no raping going on in this facility that I was working for.
Well, you didn't work security, so.
Clear. I kind of did work security, technically.
That's true. That's probably what those leg kicks were about. That was
yes, I've been
that
attacked
makes me feel better. Okay.
by an old person multiple times. Taken a walker to the forearm.
You've taken an old person down a couple times?
No, I haven't taken them down, but I've had to
rear naked choke?
No, dude, you're
what?
not allowed to You're not allowed to.
I'm just kidding with you.
Hold that. You can't really put your hands on them unless it's to catch them
Consensual?
or something. Yeah, basically. But so I had to put myself in their path a couple times when they were trying to escape. And this one little old man literally reared back on his legs and lifted his walker up and tried to beat the shit out of me with it.
Dang, dude.
And so at that point I was like, no, fuck this, go
you
on,
head kicked him?
goodbye.
Oh.
No, I let him go, and we had to call the cops, and they had to bring him
they
back.
head kicked him.
Yeah, I don't know what
Jesus,
happened.
knowing them, he never came back. No,
Oh my
I'm
God,
just
he
kidding.
was
I'm not.
such
No,
an
I'm not.
arrogant.
I'm
And
not
I
keeping
think
the
that
police.
was on the night of a full moon. But yeah, I mean, you can for sure tell, everybody's a little bit more ornery. It's all a little bit more energy in the place. They're all a little bit more high-strung and hyper and just at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Old people get cranky too, man. When you get old, you know exactly what you want in life out of what you have left in life. If that makes sense. If you have something planned that day, or if you have a certain way of your day going about, or if you have a certain channel you watch, and somebody comes in there and tries to mess with it.
Oh yeah.
There's no enlightening. For me, somebody comes to change the channel, I might like this too. An old person?
Oh no, there's
hell no, dude. I've
dryouts.
watched every show on this damn planet. I don't want to watch anything else except for what I was about to watch about. It's just they're grumpy for a reason. It's because anything you say is stupid to them because everybody's got different opinions, but they know their opinion very well. And they're so far everybody changes throughout their life. Old people, once they're old, dude, they don't change anymore. So whatever they say, it's it goes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're ornery. You know what I mean? They're stubborn as shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Shout out to old people. Shout out to any old people watching this. Hopefully, no.
We had this one couple. They weren't a couple actually. There was this one dude there on respite, and this one woman who lived there who was mean as a hornet. Man, she was so mean, and she was straight off the boat from Germany, hardcore,
trouble.
Yeah, she was just
Had a big old head on her, I bet, huh?
She was a big lady too.
Oh yeah, big old German broad.
Yeah. And she was every stereotype you can think of for a big old German broad.
I think I just said them all. I'll get canceled now. You don't have to worry about that.
But so we had
shout out to Germans.
So she was there first, and then we had this new guy come in, and he was straight up Orthodox Jew. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you take this one away. What do you think?
It was horrendous.
What part about it?
they were racist as hell to each other.
Oh, okay.
Like, they were,
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Jew. You were like, oh, he came in and it was horrendous.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
it sounded very bad.
Them mixing together got, like, super scary.
Instead of let you take it away, you're like, yeah, it was bad, man. There was a Jew there. It's like,
no.
That's not what I meant. I meant like, hey, let's backtrack a little bit.
He was so sweet, and she was. Like,
it was bad because there was obviously, yeah.
Right,
I should have read the story.
There was like
better.
a lot of tension, right? Because
it's not like you were in the middle of telling it or anything.
Classic, cut me off in the middle of my sentence.
Well, still, I just wanted to think. You got to think about everything in context. Like if somebody cuts out that little section, it's like, oh, yeah, this Jew came in and it was horrendous. It's like.
Because she was so hateful to him, and he was hateful to her.
Oh, I believe. Oh, I think it was horrendous for him because, man.
Oh yeah.
German people, they don't. They're like. I'm not gonna say they're openly racist, but like.
They have a history, and it was so anyway.
So do we, but so do they.
Right. And this was these two particular groups of people coming together in a nursing home, and it was ugly. And then one night was probably a full moon. One of our night shift nurses.
Full circle here.
One of our night shift nurses came in to do like evening checks, and the dude was not in his room.
Oh no.
She goes next door.
Oh no.
And he is not raping her. It was very clearly consensual. And then, so a couple weeks later, he ended up going home. Like he was like released, and he was like
he found the cure that night, huh? Oh, okay.
And the daughter was like, "We're missing a pair
What was
of
his
shoes."
ethnicity? Now that we're on the tone, I'm just kidding.
He was Jewish.
Okay, same guy. Okay, I thought you were just talking about a different, like just a random guy, a different story. Okay.
No.
Okay.
The
Wow.
Jew and the German were found doing the dirty after like beating the crap out of each other for a week. The sexual tension broke. And then
that was not the scandalous that I thought was going to be part of the show. Man.
You never know. Stories from the nursing.
Yeah, working at nursing home, you get all kinds of wild stuff.
Oh, the drama. So he went home eventually, and the daughter called us like a week later and was like, "I'm missing a pair of his shoes. We couldn't find him. They cleaned his room out, looked top to bottom. They couldn't find his shoes. They were under her bed. Literally, they found his shoes under her bed."
Classic.
I know. It was such a fun job.
So traditional.
I know.
So romantic.
What is that country song? Whose
Knocking.
bed have your boots been under?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Next
I was
episode,
about to say something.
pursue my career in country singing.
We're gonna do karaoke next episode. Jesse's gonna star. I had something to say, but you're
Did I throw you off with that one?
a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
gonna blame you because it made the whole show there, but
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't have a thought.
Didn't expect that one, did you?
No, I lost it. Damn. It's gonna be a good one too. All right, so what did I'm trying to have Bud and Jennifer back on. Not back on. They haven't been on
we
yet.
were gonna do ice cream.
I know that. What were we gonna? There was a hot food that we were gonna eat too. Not spicy.
Hot dogs.
It was hot dogs.
I think so.
Corn dogs.
Yeah.
Do corn dog taste test.
Grody.
Yeah.
I'm not really about that one. I'll do the ice cream.
Yeah. Well, me and Jennifer are gonna do the corn dogs, or me, Bud, and Jennifer are gonna do the corn dogs, and then you and Jennifer, or you and Bud specifically, we're gonna do the ice cream.
That's fine.
If I remember correctly. But Jennifer probably get on the ice cream too. I don't know. We'll figure it out. What do y'all think? What food should we taste test? Or should it be the Popeyes versus the Chick-fil-A sandwich?
It's Chick-fil-A. It's a fact.
Did you try the Popeyes sandwich that day?
Yes, I did. You watched me eat it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
what did you think?
Chick-fil-A is better.
By how much of a margin?
It's a close margin,
Okay.
but Chick-fil-A is better.
Can you get corn on the cob at Chick-fil-A though?
Who wants soggy ass corn on the cob?
It ain't soggy, dude.
It's
It comes in
soggy.
wax paper, bro.
Ew.
It's fresh, dude.
No.
They don't have any Old Bay to sprinkle in that bad boy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you can get salt and pepper.
No. Mm-mm.
Can you get
They
green
don't give
beans?
you sauce.
Can you get mashed potatoes and gravy from
Yes.
Chick-fil-A? Yeah, you can.
Pretty sure.
Let's look that up right now. 'Cause now I'm really interested because I want to try it. Because you know it's probably fire if they do have
Absolutely, it's fire.
it. Have you had it though? I know they have mac and cheese now, and
No,
everybody's
I'm
like
just agreeing
fucking
with you that obviously
mac
it
and
would
cheese.
be-
You know, it's like Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is not that good, and Chick-fil-A's not cheap, so they charge like $3.50 for a little cup of mac and cheese, and
Because
it's like
it's worth it.
not for their mac and cheese, for their chicken sandwiches and stuff. It is, but just don't get the mac and cheese. This is my recommendation.
They have chicken noodle soup.
What? Why do they have that?
Because it's a chicken joint. Ryan Melton says you can get Chick-fil-A sauce. And that's all that matters, Ryan. You're totally right.
That's not a side. That's not
It is to some people.
to the waffle fries, which I don't think you can get waffle fries at Popeyes, but you're just
Yeah. Those
You're
waffle
limiting
fries and
yourself.
Chick-fil-A. No.
mashed potatoes and gravy, corn on the cob, green
I think they
beans,
used to have
dirty
mashed
rice,
potatoes.
or Cajun rice, Cajun fries.
Okay,
You're
their
not
fries-
blotting
their
anything.
fries-
You actually would
their
love
fries are
any
fire,
all
you're
these
right.
sides I just named. You would eat the heck out of. Can we cuss
don't
now?
like
How many
them.
minutes? I'm just kidding.
Is there a minute rule? I'm pretty sure I cussed him.
Would anybody still watch this if we were live on YouTube? 'Cause that's a thing. You can do that. Would anybody tune in over there? I'm thinking about it. I'm just doing it 1 week, failing miserably, and then coming back, and then uploading to YouTube after.
Sounds risky.
No risk, no reward. Sometimes risk, still no reward.
Why are you holding your beer like that?
Sorry. I have a fortune cookie I wanted to share with everybody.
Ryan Melton says thumbs up. So I guess he would watch you on YouTube. Alright, what's the fortune cookie?
He's young though. I got old people watch me. Not old, but.
There you go, insulting half your audience.
Well, Ryan Melton is, what, 27 or something, 28 like I am? Some people that watch this are 40, you know, like Bud and Jennifer. Jennifer's probably 35. But,
So you're insulting them by calling them old?
well, it's just older than me. They're not as much in the YouTube game. People do YouTube live, and I don't watch it, so that's honest.
So you're a fortune cookie.
Everybody tune out now, Daddy.
Yeah, we're at like 0 viewers.
I can't see, so don't lie to me. If we are, we'll just hang up. No, I'm just kidding. Never trouble till trouble troubles you. The first time I saw it, I was like,
That is deep as fudge.
kind of goes back to. I'm not going to go there. It's almost like, have you ever heard the joke? This guy's walking down the street and he hears all these kids yelling, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. Why would they be yelling 13? Like, that's not a game that I know of. So he finds a little peephole, looks through there, gets his eye poked. 14, 14, 14, 14. Mind your own business, folks.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Sometimes, I mean, I think it's important to be curious about some stuff, but, hold on, I got a text message. Ooh, one big thing I did want to talk about. I just didn't want to talk about it too early.
Whoa.
We have a big topic.
That you're going to start at an hour in?
We're not an hour in yet.
Okay.
Mr. Carter retires.
Mr. Carter.
Retires from Clover Hill.
Yes.
He taught us to drive. He taught our kids how to drive.
He taught like.
He taught our dads how to drive and mothers. He taught our grandparents how to drive. And he taught our great-grandparents how to drive. And He worked there for 47 years.
47 years with Chesterfield County Public Schools. That is the standing record for longest.
I don't know
tenure.
a single Turn Left podcast listener that didn't have Mr. Carter for their driving instructor.
I don't know a single person in general that
I
did
think,
not. Actually, technically, I didn't have Mr. Carter as driving instructor.
but you did in heart,
You're right.
and you knew.
Absolutely, I knew. I was
You
really
knew who the
sad.
real driving instructor was.
Yeah, because we would
We
get
know
there.
who didn't have Mr. Carter.
Megan.
Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, Mr. Carter, I mean, his is just, what a horrifying job, if you think about it. Imagine literally strapping into a vehicle that goes down Upholstery Road 55 miles per hour once you get up to Amelia with a kid that you've hardly ever met, you know nothing about. They're 15 years old. I mean, too young for Crystalia even.
And they're about to drive you all over the county.
To your house to get mail.
Yeah.
And to the drive-thru at McDonald's and shit.
Did
And
you do that?
Yeah, that's where he takes everybody. He's like, yeah, I gotta go get some mail from my house. He wants you to teach you the back roads. So he just goes to his house and
I would
pick
not want
stuff
children
up.
knowing where I lived.
he
I
don't
would
give
not
a
want my
shit,
student.
dude.
You're right.
And everybody's cool with him. It'd be one thing if he was like, one of the pedophile teachers. But anyway, don't name
Ryan
drop.
Melton didn't have Mr. Carter, did you have that? Or Mr. Carter.
Ryan Milton.
Ryan, did you have that old lady too? Because I had that old lady and she was mean as hell. She was
Remember her
tiny.
name?
No.
Don't say it. I do know who you're talking about because I was like, I don't want her.
Yeah, I got her. And I was super sad because her
Ugh.
and Mr. Carter rolled up. I did like the early summer class. So it was like 7 o'clock at Clover Hill and nobody else was there except for Mr. Carter and her. And I was so sad when I saw the other kids get into Mr. Carter's car and I got stuck with the old lady. I was like, oh, this is not going to be fun. And she was strict as hell.
Oh, yeah.
He said, yeah, I almost failed. I almost failed too. She took points off of stuff
For like the dumbest stuff.
Dude.
She was like, you get a ticket for that.
Well,
no, I wouldn't.
Oh my god.
I told you I had burps and gas. It's a problem. I started, it's like he had a staggered schedule or something. The first day I did driving school, there were 3 of us because one chick had missed a day because she was sick and had to make it up. So we all 3 split time 3 ways instead and just counted it as all we got halves.
Mm-hmm.
But we went out to his house in Amelia the first day. Yeah, I think this is when I'm 16, or 15 actually. Yeah. But I think I'd already practiced race car and everything. So I've been driving. Mm-hmm. So we got to Amelia, and I'm just booking it on the back roads. Not that fast, because I know I've got a driving instructor right next to me. I obviously didn't think I was going that fast. But I got out of the car. Mr. Carter never said a word. I got out of the car, and the 2 people that were in driving class with me or whatever got out of the back seat and were like, dude, you were going so fucking fast down those back roads. We were scared, dude. I was like,
I would have
really?
been terrified.
No, I wouldn't no. I mean, I was in driving school.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I was not whoa, coming out of the corners and stuff. I was just keeping a steady, whatever the speed limit was, 45 on back roads, which a lot of people think is fast because they don't drive back roads much. And then, you do an extra 5 miles per hour or whatever. So I was doing 50 on these back roads.
Oh, she made us go 5 under. And she'd
Well, he
yell
didn't.
at you
He
if you
just
got
never
to the
said
speed
anything. I
limit.
mean, it's he's literally half asleep. After we get to his house and he grabs his dip, he's just dipping the whole time. He's just chilling, He was cool, man. I mean, I did learn stuff from him, but it was just it was weird because when I got out of the car, the 2 kids that were with me were like, "Why were you driving so fast? That was insane." He never said a word, dude. And I didn't even think I was driving fast. I was racing motocross and stuff at the time too. So I don't even know what's fast and what's not. I'm just going. I'm just trying to watch the speedometer as much as I can and not go 10 over. But I'm just cruising and then I'm not letting off for the corners. So on these back country roads, speed limit might be 45, whatever. Around some of these tight corners, people would slow down to 25, 35. I just wouldn't slow down. We'd just be ripping it through these corners. And I don't know. I guess they were scared. Mr. Carter was not scared. He was ready.
He's
And
probably seen it all.
that's what I'm saying. That's the
I'm sure
scariest
he's
job
been in
ever.
so many car accidents.
He's got his own brake pedal over there, but not his own steering wheel.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
That's like the literally worst nightmare of mine. Like, I can't even imagine being a driving instructor with just a. I would have to have a steering wheel at the very least,
Or
and I would
be
never
high
let go of it. I would literally sit there and hold it the whole time and let them like just kind of guide my hands around that way. If anything happened, I'd be able to jerk it. But anyway, shout out to Mr. Carter. Everybody learn how to drive through Mr. Carter.
Congrats to him. He absolutely
47 years
deserves
in the county.
a long, cushy ass retirement.
Oh my God.
Bless him.
Almost 50 years you work in one place, man. That's incredible. All right. See you next week, everybody. Not sure who we're having next. I want a tattoo artist. I don't think we're going to have any, like, crazy, wild stuff like I've been talking in the past. But I do want, like, a tattoo artist. I'm thinking about messaging a guy. There was one other athletes, obviously. There was one other person that I wouldn't mind having. But let me know if anybody knows a good tattoo artist that's fun to talk to. I don't want to... That's a weird thing. You just hit up a tattoo artist who you really like his art. You're like, hey, you want to come on my podcast? And he just sits here and it's like the most awkward situation you've ever had in your life. That could be really bad. So if anybody knows a cool tattoo artist, let me know before we have a potential bad episode next week. But I'll try to find out what we're going to do as far as corn dogs, ice cream, and what with Bud and Jennifer whenever we do that too. What?
Nothing. I just feel like you're so pessimistic about this tattoo artist.
Well, which one?
I don't know.
See?
You're just assuming that all tattoo artists are boring to talk to?
Hell
I
no.
talk to a lot of people.
I'm assuming my luck is bad, and I'll find the bad one to talk to, and it'll be...
You have bad luck.
Yeah. All right, well, either way, thanks all for joining us. We will see you next week. Peace out, everybody.